Hey guys, it's Leanne. Welcome back to another testing new makeup video. I have a bunch of new goodies to try and I'm excited to show you guys how I created this look. We have a good mix of drugstore and high-end to play with. Don't forget to click subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that little bell if you would like to be notified when I post a new video and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's video. Alright, let's get into it. I had already put this on when I did my skincare, but I wanted to share my initial thoughts. The Maybelline Lifter Glaze Oil Balm in the shade Pink Drip is just an okay product in my opinion. It's like a silky lip balm with a little bit higher shine than most lip balms, but this new shade from the brand Edam had me so curious. I've heard really good things about this peptide lip balm, and I really wanted to try the clear shade, but it constantly sells out. This is a newer shade, it's called Guava Fresca. The metal tip applicator and the formula feel fantastic. I like this color, but the scent of this is awful. I think I would rather stick to my iced coffee from Summer Fridays for that $24 price point. This is the Danessa Myricks Mattifying Water Powder Serum. I purchased the full size after trying out a deluxe sample from Sephora. I still have enough of it left, so I'm just going to use that up today. Now, I wasn't so sure about this product at first. I couldn't really tell that it was doing anything. But as the weather heats up, I'm noticing that it's keeping my skin balanced and I'm producing less oil. I like to use this after my skincare, but before I put on primer. If you have oily skin, I think you would love it. Now, this is not technically a new product, but I did repurchase it recently for like the 5th time. I absolutely love this eye primer and I have recommended it for years now. Everything I just said also applies to this brow gel. Rare Beauty killed it with these two products. This is the best brow gel, period. ColourPop recently brought back their Build Your Own palette, so naturally I just had to get it. And I also picked up another Nude Mood palette because mine has been used and abused. I consider this an everyday palette, so I wanted to get a backup. The shades I chose for my palette are truly some of my favorite tones. I reach for them all the time. I wish they had more options to choose from, but these sell out super quick. They did send over a birthday gift with my order. It's a small packer brush and a Super Shock shadow in the shade 11 Scoops. It's a light gold with a pink shimmer. I'm going to start using the cream shade in the Nude Mood palette all over my lid to set down the eye primer. And while I do that, I'm going to show you some swatches of my Build Your Own palette. This is Outside in Natural Light. For my transition color, I was curious to see if this shade would be too deep, but it was actually perfect. I just blended it all over my crease with the 212 from BK Beauty, and then I mixed these two shades together and blended them on top to soften the edges. And while I'm doing this, I'm just showing you some swatches from my palette. And then I took the deepest brown shade and I used it in my outer V. I'm using the Nikki LaRose BK Beauty N13 brush. I do wish that I had picked a deeper brown for my palette, but that's why I love my Nude Mood because it's such a good companion palette. It has every nude shade you could need. I'm going to grab the darkest brown from this palette and go ahead and start on my wing. I'm using the BK Beauty 208 brush, and I'm also going to show you all a few swatches from this palette that I absolutely love. I use them all the time. Now I'm taking the MAC eyeliner in the shade Costa Riche to Tightline. This isn't a new product either, but I did repurchase it because I've loved this formula and this shade so much recently. And by the way, if you are in need of a good pencil sharpener, get this one from Glossier. It's the best I've ever found. I don't experience very much fallout from ColourPop shimmers, but I still use a small dot of the NYX glitter primer just in case. I couldn't wait to try out this warm gold shade. It reminds me a lot of the gold in the Patrick Ta Eye Illusion duo, Do You Know Who I Am? And speaking of Patrick Ta, I just placed an order and I got his Major Dimension 2 Rose eyeshadow palette for free. I'm going to talk more about that in a new video, but I'm just so excited about it. Now I'm going back into the Nude Mood to pick up this beautiful champagne shimmer for my inner corner, and then I just tap it into the first gold shade to kind of blend the two together. Now I'm taking the matte cream shade again to blend under my brows. I decided that it needed to be a little bit deeper in my crease, so I grabbed the light brown matte to finish off my look. Alright, now it's time to clean up some fallout and just kind of perfect my wing. I couldn't help myself. I just had to see what this Super Shock looked like. I don't think it did very much for this look, but it is a very beautiful shade. Alright, next step is primer. I bought the mini size of the new Smashbox Pore Vanishing Primer. It's a little bit thicker than the original photo finish, and it feels a little bit heavier on the skin. You can see that it definitely blurred my pores, but it didn't seem to have the same oil control as my favorite Cali Ray primer. I'll continue to test it with other foundations, and I'll let you know what I think in a later video. Now, while that dries, I like to do mascara. I bought these Clio Kill Lash mascaras from Amazon. I've seen some really good reviews, so I had to try it for myself. I'm just going to use the black volume curling first, and I'll save the red one for another video. These are not very expensive, and they both have tiny wands, which I love. I cannot wait to try the red one after seeing its super unique wand. Now, I didn't fall in love with the black one initially, but I've used it every day since filming this, and it's fantastic. It holds my curl, it gives length and separation, decent volume, it comes off easily with micellar water, all good things, so I do recommend this one. This is not a new brow product either. You're probably tired of hearing about it at this point, but this is the NYX Brow Nano, and we love her. Y'all, I could not be more excited to try out today's foundation. It's from the brand Bosma, and I decided to pick it up after seeing Nikki LaRose rave about it. She uses it as a daily work foundation, and she has a similar combo skin type. I picked out the shade 030, which is for medium cool undertones, and I actually think that this looks like the most neutral medium shade out of all of the shades. I'm so happy that I picked this shade because I think it's going to work pretty much year-round for me, which is amazing. Now, you only get 6.3 grams of product, which is less than most stick foundations, and I was scared of all the hydrating claims, but it actually wore pretty well. I still prefer the Dior stick foundation, but that one's just hard to beat for me. Now, I do appreciate the fact that it's not fragrance, though. And as for the coverage, this is perfect. You can build it up without any issues, and it leaves a true natural finish. I wanted to see if blending with my fingers worked better, but I think a dense buffing brush like this one from Smashbox is perfect. If you have combo skin with large pores, I think you'll really enjoy how this lays on your skin. I get a nice blurred, natural finish. Check out this before and after. It looks really pretty. I cannot help myself when it comes to this Rare Beauty liquid contour in the shade Solace. I also have the shade Serene, and I'm saving it for summertime when my face gets a little bit darker. I've been using the new Morphe M243 brush to blend it out and then tapping around the edges with my Stands Out sponge, and I just love the way this product looks, and it wears so well on me. I can see myself repurchasing this for sure. Rare Beauty is killing it recently. Before I got addicted to the Ritual Defeat Concealer, I used the Haus Labs almost daily. I decided to get a fresh backup in the same shade, 21 Light Medium Neutral. I was excited to use this again to see if I still love it as much as I used to. This concealer is on the thicker side, but it still blends easily and it gives you a beautiful hydrated finish. I blended it with a Delium Tools concealer brush first, and then I just let it sit while I moved on to cream blush. I've already tested out the Soft Pinch Matte Bouncy Blush from Rare Beauty in the shade Hope, and I loved it so much that I picked up the shade Worth, that way I could have a warmer option too. I just tap it in with the Rare Beauty blush brush. Now this shade is beautiful for summertime, and this formula is fantastic. If you have pores or texture on your cheeks, it blurs everything. And while it is a pigmented blush, it's nowhere near the level of pigmentation of their liquid blushes. I don't have a new powder, so I'm just going to set my under eyes with my favorite Uma Beauty. This is sold out on their website, but you can find it at JCPenney. I just tap out my creases with the Real Techniques Miracle Concealer Sponge and then set lightly with a powder puff. And then to set all over my face, I'm using another favorite powder from Nakia Joy Cosmetics. They had a nice 30% off Easter sale, so I bought 2 backups. Alright, this is the star of the show in my opinion. Hourglass finally listened and gave us the option to customize our own palettes. I splurged on myself for my birthday and I ordered 2. Now the first one is made up of 2 blushes, a bronzer, and a powder. I wanted to test out some of the darker bronzer options, so I got another one with a bronzer, 2 blushes, and a dark shade of the powder. For today's look, I just mixed 2 of the deepest shades. I was just so excited to play with this that I couldn't just use one. I could not be more pleased with the shades that I chose. I plan on doing a more in-depth review of these because they definitely deserve their own video. Hourglass powders are so soft and weightless on the skin. They blend so easily and they're buildable, which I prefer. I went ahead and threw up some screenshots of all the options that I chose for my palette just in case you're curious. I hope they come back in stock soon. I can't wait to keep playing with these, but for today, I'm going to try a new blush formula that really intrigues me. This is the Tower 28 Get Set Blurring Matte Powder Blush in the shade Long Beach Iced Tea. This is a perfect warm nude shade, and the formula just sounded incredible. I'm also obsessed with the new Morphe blush brush because it blends effortlessly. The complexion products are so good today. Everything is working well together, and this blush might be my new favorite. I love that it has actual setting properties in the formula. I also got a backup of my One Size powder foundation in the shade Light 2N. You guys, if you want a powder with talc for oil control, you better get it while you can. There are very few left on the market, and this is one of them. This is the new Lip Contour Duo from Charlotte Tilbury in the medium shade. One side is meant to sculpt and the other is to fill in your lips. I'm a little bit bummed by these. I was kind of hoping that the fill side would be lighter, but even when you swatch them side by side, the fill side looks darker to me. This might just be a medium shade issue, but it does suck. And also, the formula just needs work. These don't last at all on my lips. It's pretty, but I would skip these and just buy her original lip liners. They're way longer lasting. I went ahead and got the Plumpgasm Lip Gloss too. I've actually wanted to try this formula for a very long time, but the original shades that she launched just looked too deep for me. This is called Nudegasm Diamonds, and it's a sheer nude gloss with shimmer. It's so pretty, and I really like this formula. It's not sticky at all, and you can't feel the shimmer. And in my opinion, it only has like a mild tingle. Now, I always reach for my Lancome Lash Idol Mascara for my lower lashes. I wear this daily. It never transfers, and that's a huge deal when you have longer lower lashes like I do. They touch my skin. I'm going to finish off my brows with a few flicks of the NYX Brow Pen in the shade Ash Brown. Again, this isn't new, but this is something I do every day. I like to do a few sprays of the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, and then I top that off with the One Size. This combo will really lock it in. Your makeup will not budge. Now, I bought 2 new travel size perfumes recently, and I actually like to mix these 2 scents. The Valentino Green Stravaganza and the Glossier You Fleur. I've been using these 2 nonstop. Now, I also bought this texturizing finishing spray after my hairstylist used it on me. First of all, it smells amazing, but I love that it gives texture, volume, and hold all in one. I ordered it from Amazon. Now be careful, don't use too much of it or it can leave your hair feeling a little bit heavy. I added just a little bit of my favorite hairspray for some extra hold since I was going to work. Alright, that's everything. I just wanted to show you guys a quick trying new makeup. I will get more videos up for you soon. Just let me know what you think about today's video in the comments and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day.